How's it going, guys? Tom here, and we're back for episode number 9 of Showdown Slam. Getting ever closer to episode number 10 now, kind of a nice little landmark there. And in today's video we're actually making up for Wednesday's missed video. So just going to be making up for lost videos over the course of this week. So we've already seen Monday's video that came out yesterday, which would have been Friday. And although today's still Friday for me, this will be coming out on Saturday, and it'll be Wednesday's video. Try not to get confused. We're just going to get straight into the game here. We know the team, quite familiar with it now, and we have a version, well, it is Wolfie's team here. So we know kind of what it does and what it's all about here. I'm just trying to think what the best way we can deal with this team is. Now, we had some good early success against this team, this kind of team, when we first started doing videos, but obviously people have had a bit more practice with it now, probably know more on what it's all about, and now it's a case of how well can we counter this team. So I feel like Dialga and Kyogre here are obviously very good, and it's a case of who else I want to bring. I think Kangaskhan here is good, but the Intimidates from Hitmontop are something we have to, bear in mind. And I wonder if because of that we should keep Kangaskhan in the back potentially. I'm not sure of it as a lead in this situation. I always want to go with Whimsicott and Dialga here. And we can get up a safeguard, and we can do some other things with Dialga as well. So Hitmontop comes out, yep, so as predicted, potential fake out here. And it's a question of who my opponent wants to fake out, really. I have a feeling it might be the Whimsicott to potentially break its sash. That's something I need to be aware of, and of course Kyogre can go for a relatively free Water Spout, is what I want to say. So I feel like I want to switch in Kyogre for Whimsicott, and I am going to Trick Room with Dialga here. And that way we should be able to take Water Spout on both of these Pokemon. And it's worth thinking about what he has in the back as well, because we could see Raichu and potentially Rayquaza. So he does fake out the Kyogre and actually just go straight for the Ice Beam into Dialga. So that's really good. What we can do here is go for a Water Spout, and I think what we can do is go for a Dragon Pulse. Who is slower? Let's figure that out. So Dialga is slower in Trick Room, so it is going to go first. I think what we can do is go for a, because we know Hitmontop is definitely going to switch out subject to a Water Spout. So let's go for a Dragon Pulse into the Kyogre here. Oh, it's water, yeah, Wide Guard. Okay, fair enough. Something I did forget about there is Wide Guard from the Hitmontop. So yeah, something I need to remember in future. So let's Thunder the Kyogre this turn. And let's go for a, I'm tempted to switch out the Hitmontop here, just in case it wants to go for something big onto the Dialga. But I feel like at the same time we might as well Dragon Pulse the Hitmontop, force it to switch out. So Kyogre protects here, we get a Dragon Pulse. So it's kind of a free turn for us here. And we can do some stuff next turn. So it is Rayquaza coming in, we know it's sashed. And what we can do here, I feel, is go for a Water Spout and a Dragon Pulse. Now Kyogre could go for a Thunder here, and maybe I thought about this a bit too fast. Let's just take a breath and think about this some more. So I think we got a critical hit. We did get a critical hit onto the Hitmontop with Dragon Pulse, so Dragon Pulse doing quite a lot there. My opponent could bring in Raichu if she or he has it, and we can never tell with avatars. We'll say she for now. She could bring in Raichu to take a potential Thunder, and what we could also see is a double move into the Kyogre from Rayquaza with a Extreme Speed and potentially a Thunder from the Kyogre. I feel like Kyogre isn't doing too much here. A Water Spout into the Rayquaza will be useful to break the sash, but I also feel a Thunder is handy. So we'll go for a double into the Kyogre. It has just protected, and we'll see what my opponent wants to do here. So it actually does switch into the Raichu here, so that's unfortunate. We should have thought about that. I think a Water Spout would have been the better play. Not thinking things through completely there, so that is my mistake. So what can we do here? So Trick Room is about to expire as well, so we need to bear that in mind. Let's go for the Water Spout. Raichu can quite easily fake out here, and I feel like this might be a double into the Dialga due to the fact that Rayquaza has got a Swords Dance up. This should be a pretty clean KO from my opponent here. So how do we want to play this? I feel getting the Ice Beam off into the Rayquaza is really nice. Just getting a Water Spout off really is also good, just to break its sash. So let's go for a Water Spout Dragon Pulse play. So actually Rayquaza goes for the Extreme Speed, and it does take out the Kyogre there actually, which does surprise me. So we'll have Whimsicott here, and what we can do is we can Encore the Raichu, and we can also Dragon Pulse the Rayquaza. In fact, let's Encore the Raichu, and we could Trick Room, but I feel, yeah, let's go for the Trick Room here. We need to try and do what we can here. So yeah, I played a bit too fast a couple of turns ago, which is I really should be trying to slow things down and thinking things through. A Raichu switching, I guess, was relatively obvious. And we do get the Trick Room off, so that's great. So let's switch into the Kangaskhan here, and we will Dragon Pulse the Rayquaza. Because I feel, well, Rayquaza can, of course, Extreme Speed the Whimsicott and take it out this turn. So we need to stop that from happening. So actually Hitmontop comes out, which is, wow, okay, so he crits us, which is really unfortunate. Not what we wanted to see there at all. So yeah, we played this pretty badly, really, which is a shame. I don't like to play badly, of course, no one does. And this loss was our own fault, really. So we'll just try and get this complete now. So Extreme Speed, and most likely it won't be a fake out onto the Hitmontop, it'll be a close combat, I'm sure. As it is a close combat, yeah, which does take out the Dialga as well. So yeah, sorry about that, guys. That was a pretty poorly played game there. I felt like we definitely could have won that, and our rating will take a bit of a hit. So we'll go straight into the next game and see if we can play better this time, maybe take a bit more time to think about our moves. It was relatively safe to go for the Water Spout, so really I should have done that. So here we have a Groudon Xerneas team, the Gengar, Ferrothorn, Smeargle and Thundurus. So some interesting threats here. I'm tempted to lead Whimsicott and Dialga, really get up that Trick Room first, and then we can have Kangaskhan and Kyogre in the back to support. And I think with Whimsicott what we can do is Safeguard, so it's actually Gengar and Smeargle, and this is going to be Mega Gengar, so we need to be mindful of that. Here what we can do is Safeguard and Trick Room. It's a relatively, how do I say it? It's a relatively, what's the word? It doesn't put a lot of pressure on this lead, or this play really, but we will be, so it's actually Fake Out Smeargle. Okay, so that's interesting. So what we can do here is, so we don't actually get off the Trick Room this turn, which is annoying, but we can we can Encore the Smeargle, and we can also Trick Room this turn, I feel. Okay, so it sends out the Groudon, that's fair enough. Gengar actually goes for the Protect here, so we do get the Trick Room off. And now we can Encore the Gengar, and what can we do here? We can Dragon Pulse the Groudon. It could be physical. In fact, let's Endeavour the Groudon, and we will Dragon Pulse it as well. Because this Gengar can't really do anything to the Dialga. So, of course, Endeavour goes after Dialga as well. So yeah, that's unfortunate. We didn't think that through either. So, not doing amazingly at the moment. And we'll have Kangaskhan out, and what we will do is we will Fake Out the Groudon, and we will Flamethrower the Ferrothorn. and see what this leads to. And that way, hopefully we can try and get a double KO here. My opponent may choose to protect the Groudon. Actually, it's important to note we don't have Xerneas on my opponent's side here. We actually see Gengar and Smeargle in the back, so no Xerneas, so that's important to bear in mind. So the Groudon does switch out, the Smeargle comes in. We know that can fake out. Our fake out does plenty of damage as well. Leech Seed from the Ferrothorn, but it doesn't matter because the... So critical hit, I don't think that would have mattered. The Flamethrower getting the Oko, usually that sort of thing doesn't matter. And we can Power Up Punch the Smeargle, and we can Dragon Pulse the Gengar. So it almost becomes a question of, does Smeargle have King Shield or Spiky Shield? If it has King Shield, that's unfortunate. And it's a question of what does Gengar want to do as well. I think we could see a Will-O-Wisp here. Obviously we did see it go straight for the... So it does fake out the Dialga, which is fine. I'm happy with that. Because we do get the KO onto Smeargle, and our Kyogre can just, you know, do things really. So actually Leech Seed stays in. I'm surprised by that. I thought Leech Seed doesn't take effect when... I thought Leech Seed doesn't take effect when you are... I can't get my words out. When you faint, basically. That's what I was trying to say. So let's Flamethrower this Gengar. I feel like it is going to go for the Will-O-Wisp here, which is fine. We can Flamethrower it. So Groudon obviously protects. That's a fair enough play. Do we get the burn? Don't get the burn this time. We did get the burn on a Gengar in a previous match. So with Groudon, what do we want to do? We can't switch, obviously. So let's protect the Kangaskhan. We want to make sure we keep it in so we don't get any single target, Precipice Blades, things like that. And we'll try and go for the Trick Room. I'm not expecting to get it, but I think for these kinds of things we have to at least try. We could see a miss with Precipice Blades, and we don't know if it's special or physical yet. So Sludge Bomb onto the Kangaskhan, that's fine. Precipice Blades does hit the Dialga, does take it down. And let's send in the Kyogre here. I think what we can do here is... So we are going to be slower than both of these. In situations like this, we are seeing a lot of Gengar at the moment, so perhaps switching out Protect for Sucker Punch will be good here. But I feel we do have to go for the Power Up Punch and the Water Spout here. We could potentially protect the Kyogre. And is that a good play? Kyogre is going to be the last one to move out of everything here. So I feel like if we go for a Water Spout... No, let's go for a Protect. And I think we have to hope that Precipice Blades misses here. Actually, so Skill Swap here. And Precipice Blades does hit the Kangaskhan. Okay, so we have lost this game. So that is unfortunately 2 losses here. So Sludge Bomb doesn't really do a lot, does get the poison, which is, you know, you get those. And then Precipice Blades misses, so of all the times for Precipice Blades to miss, it misses there, which is very unfortunate. So let's go for the Ice Beam here onto Gengar. Gengar can quite easily protect here, yeah. Just make sure poison is working, doing its work. And yeah, we'll just Ice Beam. You never know, maybe we'll massively crit, which we don't, and that's fair enough. Good game to my opponent there. Again, I feel like we're in a decent position, and maybe, I don't know, maybe I'm just playing a bit too fast in this video. Need to slow things down and try and be a bit more methodical with my thinking. So in our final match we have a Xerneas thing, Yveltal, with Raichu, Blaziken, Gengar and Ditto. So I'm not too concerned about the Ditto. It could be used, but I feel like it's, you know, we haven't got anything here that can really build, so to speak. You know, nothing that can completely, you know, get loads of stats and then run over the team. So maybe Ditto won't be brought here. I feel like a Whimsicott Kangaskhan lead here is going to be quite good. And we'll bring Kyogre, and I feel like Aegislash could be useful here. I'm conscious of the Blaziken, but Aegislash does do quite well against everything apart from the Yveltal. And Dialga again is decent, but not amazing against these Pokemon. So let's go with Aegislash here and give that a run out. So Raichu and Yveltal from my opponent here. So what we can do is fake out the Yveltal while in non-Mega mode, and we can safeguard here as well. And that way, if it wants to go for a Nuzzle, then it can, you know, that's fine. We don't get any paralysis, and we can start doing some things really. So let's see what our opponent wants to do here. If Raichu fakes out, then I'm wondering whether I should Trick Room next turn or Encore it next turn. I feel like an Encore will be good. So it actually fakes out the Whimsicott, that's fine. So fake out onto the Yveltal there, does good damage. So let's go for a Trick Room, and we'll go for... So we actually don't get the Safeguard off, so we need to bear that in mind. We go for the Trick Room and the Protect, and we'll stay in non-Mega form for now. So Faint from the Raichu. Actually has Oblivion Wing, which is really interesting. You never see that anymore. So yeah, we are in a rocky position now, where, well, you don't really bank on Yveltal having Oblivion Wing, so that is really frustrating how we've just let that happen for free there. What we can do here is King Shield, you know, bait a potential attack from the Yveltal, and we can Power Up Punch the Raichu here. Raichu I am expecting to go for a Nuzzle or move of that kind, and we kind of just have to make plays now really to get out of this match. So again, just another match where, I don't know, I felt like I was thinking things through in this match, and it's just come down to Yveltal having Oblivion Wing, which you hardly ever see these days. I mean, I haven't really played against too many Yveltals, and certainly not on this channel, but seeing Oblivion Wing there was a big surprise. You just normally see knockoff, foul play, maybe Snarl at a push, things like that. So yeah, not the best of positions for us now. My opponent taking their time with this play, as they have made their move now. So Encore, yeah, okay, here we go, yeah. So let's switch in the Kyogre, and we will protect with the Kangaskhan. So yeah, we've kind of lost at our own game here. The Raichu actually managing to go for the Encore there, instead of us doing it ourselves. So actually, it's also very important to bear in mind this Yveltal is mixed. It has the Oblivion Wing and it has knockoff as well. So Ditto comes in. Raichu, I'm sure, will try to Encore, as it does, and it fails onto the Kyogre, which is good. The only issue is now we have a thing. We have an Aegislash and we can't do anything against it. So, because it is free to wide guard. So, do we now... I say we protect the Kyogre and we protect the Kangaskhan. I want to see what this does. I'm almost trying to bait wide guards and Encores here. So Nuzzle comes out, cool. Encore ends, which is great. And what we will do is Water Spout. We'll try for Water Spout. We kind of have to make plays here now. And let's go for a... I feel like Raichu is going to thingy the Kangaskhan. So let's go for a... Let's switch into Aegislash here. Okay, so Encore's the Kyogre anyway, which is great. Great. So So let's switch in the Kangaskhan now, and we can no, we don't want to Shadow Sneak. We can switch in the Kangaskhan and can go for the Gyro Ball onto the Raichu. I feel like the Ditto might want to go for... Okay, so switches out into a Yveltal here. So Nuzzle from the Raichu. It tells me it doesn't have any other electric type attacks. So Gyro Ball actually doing a good amount there. And what we can do is potentially Shadow Sneak it next turn. So let's go for the Fake Out onto the Raichu. And we will King Shield. Actually, no. Yeah, we will Fake Out the Raichu. And we'll King Shield to protect ourselves from anything that the Yveltal wants to do. So Fake Out goes through, perfect. So we take one Pokemon down at least, and Sucker Punch doesn't do anything, so that's great. Now what does my opponent want to send in here? It's been causing us a lot of problems so far, and this match has taken a little bit of time. I'm hoping maybe we can start building on this, because we have still got a Kyogre with full health, and that Raichu was doing a lot of work. It comes down to what its fourth Pokemon is, which I can see being Xerneas. And it becomes a question of, does that Xerneas want to Geomancy in the face of a Gyro Ball? And Yveltal, Yveltal should get good damage onto Aegislash with... So it is Xerneas. I think what we can do here is Power Up Punch. No, let's go straight for the damage. Let's go for the return onto the Xerneas. And we could King Shield again, but I feel like... Okay, so it comes down to a question of would... let's go for another... Yeah, so the question is, would Knockoff or Sucker Punch KO the Aegislash? And I think it would. It is very likely to, given it is weak. Switching into Kyogre here could be useful, but I almost feel like if we can just KO the Yveltal, then what we can do, we can return it, and then we can switch in the Kyogre, I think, here. Maybe I've thought about this a bit too quickly. So actually, Knockoff does such big damage, it's crazy. And we get the full paralysis anyway, so yeah, less than ideal. Not what we wanted to see at all. Let's go for a Protect onto the Kyogre here. What we could potentially do is Wide Guards next turn. So Sucker Punch, KOing. Dazzling Gleam, of course, picking up the KO. So yeah, just that Yveltal with Oblivion Wing really changed this game. Let's go for a Gyro Ball, and maybe we just have to go for a, chance another Protect here. That's the only thing I can think of. Xerneas might want to go for a Moonblast into either slot, and Yveltal might want to go for a Sucker Punch into the Kyogre potentially. So let's see if we can maybe win a mind game here. Go for that Gyro Ball, thinking he's not going to Sucker Punch me, or he's not going to knock me off. That'd be silly. So there's Moonblast. Don't get a double Protect actually. And Knockoff, yeah, gets the KO. So after a game of after winning 3 games, we lose 3 here. So yeah, not the best of days again for us here, but we'll have one more battle with this team, and that will be Friday's video coming out on Sunday. So let's hopefully finish with this core on a winning note and get some more wins and play experience under our belt. That's going to be all for today, guys. We've had our 3 battles. Do let me know if you enjoyed the video, and if you've got any advice on videos and tips for general play. That's always appreciated. And feel free to leave a like, subscribe if you're enjoying the content so far, and follow me on Twitter. My Twitter handle is down in the bottom right of the layout, so do feel free to give me a follow on there as well. And until tomorrow's video, Sunday's video, which will be Friday's video, I'll see you next time. Bye bye.